Welcome back to the Starladder Season 10 America Playoffs. We're here with the second opening, best of three. We already saw Evil Geniuses work wonders against the Sneaky Nix Assassins, and here we're moving on to Not Today versus Navi US. I'm Zayori, joined once again by David Parker. We had a quick first series, and now our second series of the night. What's up, man? How you feeling?
Feeling good. This should be a much closer series, and two teams I haven't got to catch too much of because of the time zones here in Australia, but two teams that in the past have been really impressive, and especially looking forward to seeing the South American team, Not Today, and see how they match up against their American counterparts.
Yeah, certainly so. Now, one thing we need to mention straight away, two stand-ins for Navi US. They are the fan favorites, 78% to 22 on Dota 2 Lounge, but two stand-ins always throws a wrench into the mix. MJW and Pink Panda are here in the place of Brax and 1437. So some big shoes to fill, and I've seen MJW around, but Pink Panda, that's not a name I'm too familiar with.
I know nothing of this player, so not sure if it's an alias of someone or what, but we'll see. Have they been playing with standards in a few of their games, or is this new to you as well?
Yeah, not much. I mean, no more than any other team. A little bit here and there. You know, someone has an appointment or what have you, and they have used MJW at least a couple times in the group stage, but I don't recall a game they've used Pink Panda. They haven't had like someone that's been consistently out in a stand-in role or something like that. It's just been that kind of random, hit or miss, someone stuck in traffic, that kind of stuff.
No problem. Well, game one of a best of three. This is the other semi-final. So these teams finished second and third, I believe. Yeah, with EG, of course, topping the tables. And pretty standard stuff from the draft so far. Death Prophet is just that must first pick hero almost when it's in the pool. And that's exactly what Navi US have done with their first pick.
Yep. I was going to show the bracket really quickly, but it's not filled in, so it was just an empty double elim bracket. So we'll ignore that for the time being. But again, I guess worth reiterating, this is a double elimination playoff, so everything best of three. And I did get confirmation there was a little bit of a mistype in the document I was looking at. The grand finals for that final seat going into Kiev will be a best of five with a one-game winner's advantage. So all best of three all the way through until that final matchup, and that's where EG is basically already sitting with the one-game advantage.
Yeah, we'll see if anyone can contest EG. So far, not so good for the Sneaky Nix Assassins, but I think if any team does contest EG, I would look at one of these two teams, and especially Not Today. That was one of the games from the American group stage I did watch between Not Today and EG, and that was a pretty epic game. So I want to see if Smash has what it takes, and it's not all about Smash always. He's definitely the star player of this team, but that's what the mid player often is, and it's a pretty well-rounded team. This is definitely like your all-star mix of South American players, and they had a good run in the TI4 qualifiers. Not with this exact roster, they're kind of
pretty close.
Had some, very similar, and I think this is a team with a lot of potential. I mean, they've definitely been around and caused upsets with pretty much this roster in the past. I still remember casting them with LD back in the We Play Season 2, where they took games off Na'Vi. That was back when Na'Vi were like unbeatable with their old roster, and they won a best of three against Na'Vi. So this is a team who is capable of having those great days and causing those big upsets.
So I've just gotten an interesting update here, friend. The old EG manager has let me know Pink Panda is way too.
Okay, he's meant to be playing for a different team, I thought.
Interesting.
What happened to Snar?
I haven't a clue. So an alias, but a strong player. I guess we'll leave it at that. So someone that is recognizable when tagged up properly. Chat is already well onto it. I see people spamming all over the place. So apparently we're a little slow to the party, but somehow or another it's been fairly well established. So, all right. Interesting. It's just been the season of name changes. Big Daddy, Simba, Pink Panda, all these creative names coming out there.
Yep. This is a strong team that Navi are fielding. If that's way too, then he'll be a nice kind of stand-in for the support role. Put him and Fog together there. I imagine MJW will be taking Brax's role kind of as the off-laner. Although they do, Na'Vi, one of those flexible teams who will mix up who's playing which core lane depending on what the draft is. Yeah,
definitely. Especially Korok is that big flexible hero, player rather, where just the other day we saw him playing a position 4 Rubik. So normally the mid, but they've been switching it up quite a bit. So the sky's the limit in terms of hero player pairings. But they've got a good start with this draft. Death Prophet, Doom, two heroes you pretty much can't go wrong with, regardless of what you're up against, I think.
Yeah. I really like Centaur against Death Prophet. You want to burst Death Prophet down fast, and the big thing with Death Prophet is like, well, if you don't burst down Death Prophet fast, is Death Prophet has that max movement speed pretty much with phase boots, especially if you go drums, and that's where if you don't burst her down in that initial like onslaught of damage and the blink's done, that you just zip away, come back in after bottling up or whatever it may be, or get the exorcism heals. So Centaur great for that. And Ancient Apparition, another hero that can synergize well with the Centaur and actually kill the Death Prophet. So if Centaur can get the blink hoof stomp onto the Death Prophet, you're looking at bursting this hero down. So I feel like a lot of the Not Today draft so far is looking to deal with the Death Prophet, which I think is the right approach to take against this hero. Just such a strong hero.
Yeah. If there's one line that you've said more than any other is, you got to gank the Death Prophet. I think that has been the recurring God's bit of advice in pretty much every game.
And every game I've seen, the only times I've seen Death Prophet lose is when the hero's been shut down early. I think there's been like one game I've cast with you out of like 6 or 7 where Death Prophet has lost, and every other game the hero's just been untouched, wins games, and
yeah. No,
it's one of the heroes I am looking forward to being changed. Like I'm not trying to complain too much about it. I think the hero, you can deal with it, but I think she is definitely way too strong in this current patch.
Yeah, and I think you're right about AA doing work against her, because we see all too often, even earlier today, where Death Prophet can just run around and at that really low health, you think, oh, just finish her off, and then there's that clutch heal at the end, or she just barely lives while her ghosts are doing damage, and Ancient Apparition helps quell some of that just survivability that she has towards the end and help burst her down. But we will see Rubik for Na'Vi US, so a pretty good hero just in general, great against the Shadow Shaman and the Centaur in particular. But now Not Today, Dire side, they'll take a little bit of that Roshan control with old Templar Assassin.
10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm one of the heroes who matches up better than others against Death Prophet mid. I don't want to say really wins the lane, because I don't think TA beats Death Prophet mid, even with being able to refract Crypt Swarms and all that. I think it's a pretty even matchup. So as you said, yeah, good for the Roshan control, decent mid, and I think the main thing is you get one sort of gank coming mid, and TA can kill the Death Prophet, but you do need that gank coming from your one or maybe even both of your 2 supports.
Yeah, now here's a good hero to synergize with the Death Prophet. We saw both games from EG earlier. They opened with Death Prophet Chikiro, prioritizing both of them quite a bit, and also just good against the Templar Assassin. Liquid Fire and all the other damage over time abilities that Chikiro has help to just cut through that refraction nice and quickly. So I like this choice for a multitude of reasons for Na'Vi.
Yeah, both teams seemingly missing their safe lane farmer. With that said, heroes like Centaur are often being run in the safe lane nowadays, trying to prioritize getting that fast blink. So Not Today could easily pick up an off lane at last if they wanted to get some additional initiation, be it something like a Clockwork or the Elder Titan we saw earlier today from Universe. I think an Elder Titan's not a bad option here. It basically augment all the damage coming out from the AA, the Centaur, and all that. Now they actually banned the Prophet, which would have been a strong offlane option. So Starladder, the Fishman.
Okay, well,
that's a different pick.
Yeah, this is a hero that I have seen almost none of in all of the Starladder that we've cast this season. America, EU, all of it. Maybe not even a single game. He has completely fallen off in popularity, and maybe a little too much so. He certainly has some viability. Great on the Dire side. Means taking down Roche is super easy with amplified damage, plus everything TA brings to the table.
10 seconds
good against Death Prophet and Doom, both relatively low armor heroes, so makes them a lot more susceptible to burst.
I just can't help but laughing at his little picture. It's so ugly, and it's not even that it's ugly. Like, some heroes are ugly, but they're meant to be ugly, and like that's their thing. But Starladder, it's like, what's wrong with him? He's got these random fish coming out of his sides. He's got a lantern over his head. He looks like almost like Pokemon-esque.
Yeah, his bottom jaw is kind of weird. Like the top, you can see the difference between the teeth and his jaw. The bottom, it's all one piece. It's just, he's got a jagged jaw. But all right, even more interesting picks. Na'Vi US with the Omni Knight, and Korak will pick him up.
You said he's flexible, and that's flexible right there. Putting him on a different style of hero, and
it looks like it'll be core.
I think they realized how hard it's going to be for Death Prophet this game against multiple Blink initiators, as well as the Ancient Apparition Ultimate. So they're like, we need someone to help protect him. The Omni Knight, Guardian Angel, and just sitting back and repelling the Death Prophet is going to be very instrumental this game. So I think it's a good pick because Not Today is all about shutting down the Death Prophet, so Na'Vi US is going to be all about kind of protecting him in some ways.
Yeah, no, this is a really good hero pairing. Omni Knight on top of the Death Prophet. Prioritize the repel as you were talking about, and we all know the glory that is known as Guardian Angel, the Omni Knight ultimate that can completely turn games around, and the pub-winning spell, as I like to call it. Wow. All right, so some interesting picks across the board. I'm excited in general. What do you think about Starladder, though? I mean, like I mentioned, he's not been popular this patch. Do you think that's warranted, or is he one of these underloved heroes that is sort of a diamond in the rough in the proper situation?
I think it's very warranted that he's unloved. He's kind of clunky. He's only really good as like a safe lane farmer, and you got to try and rush the blink. And there's just heroes who do what he does better. And I think Centaur's a good example of one. They are, of course, running the Centaur with the Starladder in the offlane, but it's often a case of like, why would you pick Starladder over a Sven or over a Centaur, over something else in the safe lane? Sprint, obviously, I mean, I guess looking at his spell, Sprint, he's basically one of the few heroes who can get that max movement speed with very minimal items. Bash is pretty much a useless skill. Okay, that's probably a bit of an exaggeration, but it's very unreliable. You're not actually getting many right clicks off in a fight unless you get really farmed, which that's the other thing. Starladder doesn't farm well, so you're never really getting to that stage where you're attacking a lot in a fight, and that's kind of where Bash just doesn't really synergize that nicely with how the hero is played.
Right.
He's played more like the Centaur as a blink stun initiator. Amp damage is probably what makes him unique. He's got that tracking ability as well as huge physical damage amplification, which is where I think he fits this draft kind of nicely because of the TA pick, but Guardian Angel could kind of ruin the TA and Slarddar's day here.
Yeah, I think so. Now, I have a mechanics question. I'll share my noobness here. Repel. Does that cleanse the amplified damage?
It should.
It should. That's what I was thinking.
You can use amp damage on top of repel, but if you repel, it'll get rid of it.
Okay, all right. I think that's fair enough. One of those.
I'm pretty sure that's how
amp damage is not
the logical thing.
Yeah, it's not listed as well. It's a it doesn't have a damage type, so I don't know if it's one of those kind of special type debuffs or if it's just a regular old magic debuff that gets taken off. So I guess we'll get to see that interaction before us here, and if so, that's even more utility to this Omni Knight pick. Down bottom already, Mihawk may find himself in a sticky situation. Way 2 will initiate with this invisibility rune. Telekinesis out. Korok getting in position for the nuke. Will find it. Fogged goes level 1 dual breath. Huge slow at this early level, 30%. And it'll be enough to secure the first blood. Drawn by the Jakiro. And Fogged will start off with quite a bit of bonus gold.
Nicely played. Yeah, that dual breath level 1, the most effective damage output, as well as, I mean, you get more right clicks off because of that slow, which is the same at all levels. So nice first blood, and Na'Vi US, that's safe lane 1. Centaur is just going to get nothing out of this lane now. They can pull the way back using a pull. It is going to be one nice kind of big creep wave, which will get Centaur up to level 2, but beyond that, Centaur, I think, is going to get crushed in this lane now after giving up first blood.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at the other lanes here to get a handle on what we have going on. Snake King will be mid on the Death Prophet versus Smash's TA, and that puts their stand-in MJW on the Doom, headed to the off lane with Boots first, and it is a safe lane try for Not Today. Mystico is on the Shadow Shaman, Ewo on this farming Starladder, and they've got another support hiding up here somewhere. Yeah, there he is. Ancient Apparition played by Masoku.
Yeah, so Masoku I've seen, Mystico I've seen often play the Shadow Shaman. Plays it actually kind of different to most people. He levels up the shackles, goes for some unconventional items. We'll see if he's going to do something similar this game, although, I mean, as a support, he's not going to, his item slash skill but isn't the most influential thing, but something that's always fun to watch with him. But as far as the lanes go, Doom should be okay in the off lane. Like, he can try his best to go in, devour this big camp whenever possible, but so far, Not Today have done a good job making sure they constantly block the big camp from spawning, so Doom just doesn't have that option to go for that devour.
Yep. Now, in the bottom, there will be an illusion rune picked up by Fog, and they just want to do the wraparound onto Mihawk. He knows there could be some impending doom, and he'll just move into the tree line, but this could cost him. They'll block him in with the illusions, and now they can just commence the sandwich. Way 2 won't be able to find the sandwich as the TP already comes in. Telekinesis onto Mihawk. Mystico takes the dual breath right out of the gate. Korok is level 3, so that extra point in the nuke, he'll just try and chase down Mystico. Has a point in the degen aura as well. So, can he chase him down?
Mystico is boots, but this is still going to be a hard escape.
Yeah, Omni Knight has boots as well, so there is a bit of a disadvantage there. The degen aura doing a lot of work, and Mystico, he's in no man's land. Down he goes, and that'll make it 2-0.
What was he attacking? He just... I don't know if that was a bug on my screen, but it looked like he just attacked the ground, the Shadow Shaman before he died. I don't know what that was. That was a weird little thing. But yeah, another kill at bottom lane, and that TP in to save the center just means a death for the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah. So still good news for Na'Vi US, and this time Korok gets the kill. So this farming Omni Knight will be able to live up to the title and commence the farming.
He's got Arcane Boots already if he wants to buy, which I think he probably should. Helps out the tri lane overall, although maybe he wants to go for a more battle build with something like Phase Boots. And try and maximize the use of the Degen Aura. He's even got a second point in Degen Aura, so really, really powerful stuff from Korok. This bottom lane's looking fantastic for Na'Vi.
I'm rather curious what item build Korok will go for. He instead goes for Power Treads instead of the Arcane Boots. All right. Maybe commencing some more right clicks.
Yeah, it's that kind of in between. Yeah, he's going to get a lot of extra right clicks off. You can use the tread swapping to just be more efficient with your purification and other things. So, yeah, I think it's fine. He's got him so early. That's the thing. Like he's so farmed already with a kill, 22 CS, and support's wrapping around bottom again. They don't really care if they don't get this kill. This just ensures Centaur doesn't defend the tower. Fogged has level 2 liquid fire. This tower should be going down pretty good.
Top lane, Doom in some trouble as shackles come out. Masoku commencing the chilling touched right clicks, but MJW right there with his level 2 Scorched Earth, and he'll be able to regen up and just walk away. Part of the power of that Doom offlaner. Scorched Earth gives him that kind of get out of jail free card. Mihawk has at least found some experience, and that is one advantage for him in terms of this Na'Vi US early pushing strategy here. Creeps get shoved into the tower, and he's able to leech fairly effectively. Level 4 at 5 minutes is not bad given how rough of a start he found. But tower goes down, and it is Korok that grabs the last hit, so once more his farm looking good. Yeah. Yeah,
he's got 1,200 gold. What's he going to do with all this? Maybe pick up something like a drums if he wants more movement speed to go with everything, and just more attack speed as well. And then he gets also all the extra stats, so increased mana pool and everything. I think drums could be quite nice, but when you're this farmed, it's like whatever you get is scary. You go Sanjin Yashik, you go Radiance. I mean, these are obviously kind of gimmicky items. Like, I don't think a Radiance is particularly good, but when you're this far ahead, like, so many items work. So Korok can go so many different directions with his item build, and each of them will be fantastic.
Now in the top lane, Not Today will start to move in towards the tower, looking like they want to push, but not a lot of pushing power across these heroes. Fogged will rotate in and help keep the Doombringer safe. He's only level 4.5, but they're able to repel the tower, and or the push rather, and this is one of the shortcomings of the Not Today draft, is aside from Rost Awards, they don't really have much in the way of pushing power, whereas Na'Vi US can burst push down towers, or flash push rather, with the Exorcism, and they can just do this kind of slow siege utilizing the liquid fire that's been leveled up as Fogg's primary.
Yeah, and that's definitely one of the weaknesses of this trial. Like, and the thing is, they've got the Rast Awards, but he's got to hit level 6. So in the first 5-10 minutes during the laning stage, you can't punish and go for an early T1 tower like we saw Na'Vi do at bottom. So much trickier for Not Today. They've really got to get levels on their supports, both Shadow Shaman and AA. Fairly level 6 dependent supports. They're great at level 1 as a support duo with a lot of killing power, but once you reach this like 5-6 minute mark, that's where they're like, okay, let's sit back, get our level 6s. So you almost like Sada. He's kind of going for more farming-oriented builds, so he can't really leave the lane to the supports, but supports need to just keep on using these pools as much as possible.
And mid lane, TA gets jumped on. There's the power of the liquid fire versus the refraction. Just cut through the otherwise rather tanky TA, and now Snake King will just use his ultimate. Only level 7 with a 3rd point in Witchcraft, but will do as much damage as he can to the tower, which should be sizable on top of the liquid fire. And per usual, that attack speed slow makes this a lot easier.
Yeah, it looks like they should be fine to just bring down this tower now. One more liquid fire and this attack. Yeah, the attack speed's still on the tower. Snake King will be able to heal up with the Exorcism feature. So he's pretty safe.
Yeah, Mystico comes in, connects with some shackles. TA on her way forward, looking to drop the hammer, but Snake King rather tanky. Now he gets healed up, and Smash needs to be a little careful here. Liquid fire chews through all of his refraction.
Gets the tower too. They don't get the deny even.
Yeah, that hurts. Now in the top lane, MJW in some trouble. Sword Art chasing him down, and the chilling touch will be enough to just right-click the Doombringer to death. And Not Today will get their first kill of the game on the board, but already a pretty sizable lead for Na'Vi US. Almost 4,000 gold, and, well, experience is about zeroed out, but this is a pretty undeniable gold lead for the first 8 minutes.
Yeah, Doom actually had 10 magic sick charges there, but not sure. I didn't see exactly how the the start of that gank happened. Otherwise, maybe he just couldn't live anyway. So he's like, oh, I'm not going to waste my magic one charges if they're not going to save me. But yeah. I'd say all 3 lanes going great for Na'Vi. Sure, Doom just died. He may actually be getting jumped on again. MJW TP'd into possible death.
Yeah, Starladder connects, and oh, that amp damage just hurts MJW so much. He's already a low armor hero, and Ewo will be able to just dive him down. Fog doing everything he can to keep his buddy alive, but it's just not enough, and this is one of the first
everything
peaks
he can except landing the ice path, Zaire.
Oh, yeah. He attempted to do everything he could.
He tried. No, he tried. It was a hard one.
Mid lane, Snake King gets jumped on by the Centaur, showing off that Stampede, as well as a Haste Rune. But Snake King lives, and they'll actually turn it around. Smash able to grab the kill on Death Prophet after all, but they have to concede Mihawk for it. Now can he get a double onto Way 2? He's trying to move into the trees, but can't find the Fog. And Smash will chase him down to find yet another kill. It's not over yet. Fogged is here. Have no fear. He'll connect with a Liquid Fire. Ice Path. Can he hit it this time? No, he won't even go for it. Smash makes it to the high ground, and he'll be A-okay.
Yeah, Smash has his Midas now as well, so this is good timing for your TA Midas. You're not expecting that safe lane 5-6 minute Midas. He goes for the Boots bottle. 9 minutes in, and Smash is looking pretty solid. And Ewo, after those couple of kills at top, hasn't armored already with his brown boots, so Armlet Rush, not the most conventional way to play the Starladder, I think, but this is just very cost-effective items for the damage output and survivability it gives you. He needs to go back, get Treads Blink ASAP, but if he can keep this farm rate up and get Treads Blink by like 15 minutes in, he'll be looking really, really strong.
Ooh, bottom lane, Korok versus Mihawk. Unfortunately, can't follow up any other damage after the Purification, but big bout of burst damage. And Korok has just moved into a mech, a nice early mech kind of... well, ready to commence the team fight. And like 9 minute mech is good stuff. That's on par with Enigma timing. So just sort of showing. He's got a
staff of Wizardry as well coming on the courier. So
probably a
Force staff to follow.
Yeah, I think so. Could be a Yules, but Force staff.
Another dive top.
Yeah, now Smash. Oh, there's 2 fights going out here. Smash will get rotated on in the mid lane, but Centaur ultimate will be there. They'll have 1 stray auto attack to bring him down, and the DOTs from Jakiro will be enough. Meanwhile, on the top, Ewo is amplified. But they won't be able to find the. Oh, pardon me. MJW is amplified, but they won't be able to find the kill. So
that was interesting. Starladder could not actually catch up to Doom with Tranquils plus Scorched Earth movement speed. They pretty much had the same movement speed. And
Armor of Omniscience. Korok looking for the damage, and only he hadn't repelled himself. He might have been able to get that kill with the Purification, but can't heal yourself when you're repelled. So he'll just have to watch the Shadow Shaman TP right in front of him.
Okay, It's still looking okay for NoT today, despite how well Korok did in the safe lane. It is about a 3 to 4k gold lane. That could get a whole lot worse with towers going to start falling, because Snake King's rotated up top. He's got Exorcism and not even using it for the tier 1, so theoretically Na'Vi USA can go for the tier 2. They've got a mech on the Omni Knight, and NoT today just don't really have the ability to team fight into them. They've gone from Midas on TA, Slider's gone Armlet. This is not really a team fight ready lineup.
Yeah, that's part of the issue with the Armlet is if Starladder can get in your face and do the damage, it's great, but as you talked about, some of his weaknesses are that he struggles to do that. You'll see him slither forward towards Snake King. Way 2's there with the telekinesis back, and Starladder is forced to head towards home. Mystico taking a lot of tower shots, just goes down to right clicks from the Death Prophet. So not today. Biting off more than they could chew, and I can't help but think if Starladder had a blink there, that could have been a slightly different outcome.
Yeah, it's... especially with the Age Apparition. It's not like he needs the damage himself necessarily. He's got the Ice Blast to back him up, so with just Blink Treads, he could be getting kills with the Age Apparition Ice Blast. Like the kill that he missed at top on the Doom, he would have got with a Blink Dagger. I think the Armlet's still a good item, but it's more just slowing down the Blink, and if Centaur was farming well, it'd probably be fine, because Centaur could get the Blink, and Starladder can have a slightly slower blink, but neither of their important blink initiators have their blinks yet, which means Na'Vi USA can push and not have to worry about getting jumped by these blink daggers. So this 5-man push bottom lane is entirely safe. There's nothing Na'Vi can really be beaten by at this point without blink daggers on the NoT today side. So this should be just a very easy tier 2 tower.
Yeah, they will give up their tier 1 mid. It looks like no glyph available, and they will just commit to the tier 2, but with a Doom, Exorcism, and Guardian's Angel available, or Guardian Angel rather, with a mech. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, not only just pushing tier 2s, but if they wanted to go high ground here and just chip at the tower with the Liquid Fire and the Exorcism, I think they can do it, and they certainly will. I mean, why the hell not?
This is actually really scary.
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's just level 1 Exorcism, luckily for NoT today, but this could be a really fast Rax with max Liquid Fire.
Yeah, even if they just do half damage to this tier 3 tower, the 12.5 minute mark, that's a huge victory. And in come Not Today. Ewo in the front lines will connect with an ultimate onto Snake King, so he'll kind of be that indirect target, but gets repelled and will take it off. So there you go. That answers our little mechanics question there. And
you need to have like these long-range AoE spam to kind of deal with these push strats to clear out creep waves, but that's just not saying Not Today have. But Tower gets down to 350 and they back off. But
yeah, even Doom with the absolute perfect creep in the belly right now for these kind of pushes. He's got the toughness aura, so that's an extra 3 armor, helping to mitigate the Starladder ultimate and also making the creeps that much tankier. As MJW just heads up top, secures a deny on that tower, and he also picks up a hand of Midas. So Doom will try to secure some late game. But now, Not Today. They'll abuse their dire side minus armor advantage and go for a Rosh.
This is something that will help deal with these pushes a lot. Having a hero like Starladder, or even whoever it is with the Aegis, who can just run in to start a fight and not have to worry about dying because they've got an Aegis, is great. But the problem is, Na'Vi USA, they're onto this. If they can secure the Aegis for them, denying Not Today from getting the Aegis, that's going to go a long way as far as ending this game nice and fast.
Yeah, and you know, again, they still have a Doom available. They didn't really have to use that much to do that tier 3 push, so they're happy to go into the Rosh pit. And anytime GA is available, Na'Vi should feel pretty safe taking a team fight. Stampede is used. It'll be on Fog down bottom to catch the Jakiro. Looks like they'll find a kill on him, or will they? Korok comes in with the double heal. They'll turn it around on the Mihawk, and now Ewo going hard onto the Jakiro. GA is used from Korok to try and keep Fog alive. Now they'll turn it around onto Mystico. The Pink Panda is here. And now they'll just look towards the Starladder. As we're watching this, a fight will break out in the mid lane. They'll lose their Death Prophet as they TP back, and MJW on the run. Looks like Ewo may rendezvous with him, and will be able to make it out from that bottom engagement. Will connect with an ultimate here. Not enough mana for the Slithering Crush. The heal from Omni Knight trying to keep Doom alive, but it's just not enough with all that minus armor. Instead, they'll go on to smash. All the DOTs are stacked up. Telekinesis, the stun. Down goes the TA. Ewo in some trouble as well. He's slowed up. Healing compliments of the armlet, but it just won't be enough. Korok's there with the huge nuke, and it will be Na'Vi US that come out ahead in this oddly global fight that started in the bottom lane as well as the mid, and then met at the tier 1 tower here on the Radiant side.
Yeah, that was happening absolutely everywhere, and Na'Vi, that's again coming out on top. Death Prophet's going to be TPing out, and it looks like they may just go for that bottom lane once again. They've got Exorcism up to level 2 now. I think they get this tier 2 mid and then just swing bottom and go for that. I don't want to say killing blow because Raxes may not be the end of this game, but defending those ranks is not easy. There's no Blink Daggers still on the Not Today side.
Yeah. Now, one issue with Omni Knight is his ultimate does have a pretty lengthy cooldown, 150 seconds, so it will be a little over a minute before it comes back up, though I don't know that they need it just to do an Exorcism and try and do some chip damage to the base. But they will be a little more patient here and just go back to farming for now. Only one outer tower remaining for Not Today at only the 15-minute mark is always a scary realization to make.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one for them to hold. If they can just survive without losing a lane of Raxes for, like, I would say about 10 minutes. Like, I think that's kind of like the time. Not just Blink Daggers, but they also need like their next few items on top of that.
Right.
TA is the main one who needs an actual, like, going for a Yasha now. I think Yasha BKB is a strong way to build this. May even consider a Defusal, though, against Omni Knight.
Mystico in more than a bit of trouble here as he'll take a tumble, tries to crowd control Korok down, but won't be enough to survive. The Ancient Apparition has gone for a very early Gem of True Sight pickup, which I find interesting here, mostly because Not Today are not really in team fighting shape, and if AA is not careful, that'll just end up being a big net worth swing going in favor of Na'Vi, who are now looking towards the Rosh pit themselves. Although Snake King has the debuff on, so they're well aware of it. They'll get repelled to cleanse it off, but Not Today know what's going down. Exorcism has been used, and will they be able to actually contest this is the question. Starladder 200 gold away from his Blink Dagger. Ice Blast flies through, will connect on 4 members of Na'Vi US. The only one not with him here is the Jakiro. Rasta wards come down from the high ground. Rosh getting very low, and it may be the wards to secure the last hit. It will get killed by the Radiant. Aegis is still on the ground. Omni Knight picks up a double kill on the Starladder and the Shadow Shaman. Where's the Aegis of the Immortal? It's been denied by the Shadow Shaman. He got it with the wards. Oh, God. Yeah. So, all right. I guess still good for Na'Vi US. The big thing is they don't give the Aegis to the other team, but they do manage to get the last hit on Rosh, so they find a big net worth trade out of that.
Yes. Yeah, Radiant getting Roshan as well. I think it was a good idea by the Shadow Shaman, but they just can't engage into Doom and Exorcism there. Not to mention the Omni Knight, who didn't even have to use his Guardian Angel in that fight. So maybe going for the Roshan snipe with the wards and getting a deny off is one thing, but yeah, trying to engage the way that Starladder did was just a dead end.
Yeah, so now Blink Dagger is up on Doom. Rubik will find one at just about the same timing. So we've been talking about not today getting the Blink Daggers to defend, but now it's Navi US who can bring the fight to them and get things started with some long-range initiation. TA is coming online a little bit, now has a Yasha, but we'll need a little bit more than that to really be able to stand her ground in these fights and become a force that Navi US quiver in fear when they see. Korok, though, looks like he's just going straight for an Aghanim Scepter, an item that you don't get to see too often on the Omni Knight, but a pretty interesting Ags upgrade that gives you basically a second glyph and, of course, global presence on your ultimate.
Yeah, something that a few teams have experimented with against like Faceless Void as a counter. Well, meanwhile, bottom lane though.
Yeah, Ice Blast will fly through, connects on MJW. Maybe they'll come in to commence the kill. There's the blink forward, hoof stomp, double edge, and this should be the end of Doom as he gets chickened and Ether shocked. Now, way two. Comes right into Masoku, or pardon me, the Stampede is used, coming mid. They will use it to hop on top of Korok. He'll take a lot of damage, but gets off his mech as well as the GA, and now they'll try to turn it around. They go for Ewo as they do a nice Delta split. The Spirit's flying through, and will the crush be enough? Yeah, he's just too damn speedy. The Ghost can't keep up with him.
Yeah, and this, not to do get a tier 1 bottom tower out of it, but it just feels like a very small consolation prize. I guess they lose get the kill on the Doom as well throughout all that, but
yeah,
they're just so far away from core items that are going to allow them to fight, and I think Smash is dead at top.
Yeah, he certainly is. All the DOTs once more will cut through that refraction, and Korok scoots in with the Force Staff. It just bursts him down. Dire Courier did get picked off with a Blink Dagger in tow. It was Slardar's Blink Dagger. So that's a big problem here. Well, they'll have no TA for 40 seconds, and that's a big item that Not Today basically need to make an easy hold here at the tier 3, and they simply won't have it. Down bottom, Mystico will get initiated on by Way 2. Nice ring around the Rosie. Will connect with a Hex, but I don't think it'll be enough to survive. The double Blink Dagger brothers will be able to bring him down. Rubik gets credit for that one. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Fogged initiated on, gets healed, and Korok able to do some decent damage, but not enough to keep Fogged alive. The Shadow Shaman will actually buy back to help make this defense. Now Korok uses that Armor of Omniscience and will just try to sound the retreat. He's a speedy force and has a Force Staff in about 5 seconds, and stands to reason he might be able to survive. Aghanim Scepter has been delivered, so even if he goes down here, most of his gold has been spent, minimizing his losses. Mihawk taking a lot of damage. Snake King coming in to finish him off. He will go down. They've already lost Korok, but Snake King with a double kill. As he'll bring down the Slardar. Mystico could end up being a triple. Rubik will get the kill, or get credit for it, but goes down nonetheless. And Navi US once more finding a great exchange, and they do force a dieback on the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. That Starladder losing the Blink Dagger on the Courier is so costly there. That was just like the item that Not Today were waiting for. They did get the Blink on the Centaur, which helped them actually chase down Korok on the Omni Knight. But apart from that, they need the extra one. They need the Slarddar's mobility, because he was trying to chase the Omni Knight, but just couldn't do it because of the degen aura.
Yeah, now Smash in the mid will get initiated on once more. No detection on these two heroes as he does go into the Meld Strike, but Fogged is there, connects with the Ice Path. Doom utilized as well. No way the Templar Assassin will survive the onslaught. And yet another one on the scoreboard for Navi US, now pushing their lead up to almost 15,000 gold, 7,500 experience, and Ice Blast will fight through, but it just tickles at this point as they group up once more in the mid lane.
Yeah, I feel like Navi US, if they grouped up, maybe could have gone for a tier 3 tower / Dirax push earlier, but they're not really in a big rush. They took Roshan, they didn't get the Aegis, and they thought, okay, let's play it safe, get our next few items up, wait for the Ag Scepter on Omni Knight. He's now got not just the Ags upgrade, but 1,700 HP, so he's really, really survivable. And
yeah.
For Navi US, it looks like the time is now. Exorcism, Repelled, Death Prophet, stopping this.
Yep, still no Blink Dagger on Slardar. Courier will be down for another 15 seconds. Glyph comes out, and this is pretty much all Not Today can do, is just sit back and look for the opening. But Slardar can't really just charge in there. With Sprint on, those Ghosts will do a lot of damage to him before he even gets into the fight. And even Doom in the backside here has a Tornado flying into the base. Smash will TP forward. Ready to fight, but Omni Knight clearing up the creep wave with just one purification. Now the GA comes out, is off to the side. Doom gets jumped on. The Rasta wards will be there to bring him down. And the Stampede utilized, not the best GA we've seen, but a noble effort to try to save Doom. Navi US get repelled. They get a ranged Drax and the tier 3 tower. But all that in exchange for a Doom, not a bad trade.
Yeah, the thing, like, they don't get the important racks. Like, getting a range racks on paper is like, oh, they got pushed back, it was just a range racks. But for Navi US, they're just thinking, we can just go do that again. Wait till systems back up, rinse and repeat. Not only will they have their spells back up, but they'll have their next couple items. Doom gets a Vlad, almost a Shiver's Guard on Snaking, and that was also just level 2 Exorcism there. They have level 3 Exorcism now, so it's... that exact same push is coming again, and it's coming again stronger. So Not Today just don't really get enough out of their hold. If they got a lot of kills and Ewo got close to a BKB, it could make a difference. But Ewo still, he needs another about 2k gold for his BKB, so it's going to be quite a ways before I feel Not Today can do too much. Smash is going to be going for what looks to be the Diffusal Blade after his Yasha, which I think is probably essential. But the main thing is he's going to be so squishy. Even with when he gets his Diffusal Blade, he's just going to melt, and we're seeing that at mid lane. He melts to the damage over time. Refraction useless.
Yeah, Jakiro basically just counters this hero. Between the Dual Breath and the Liquid Fire alone, that's enough DOTs to just simply bring her down. And Macro Pyre on top of that, yeah, GG. So I think you're right. The Diffusal is good, obviously great against the Omni Knight. That's why he's picking it up, but almost feels like will be better suited on another hero so that he can go for more of a typical TA build. The problem is no one's going to be able to farm it up in time, and Smash might not even really be able to farm it up in time, as now their mid lane of racks will be completely cleaned up. No glyph on the Dire side. Armor of Omniscience once more on the Snake King. And hey, this tier 3 tower they did so much damage to earlier on now makes it an easy 2-lane of racks. Rubik has stolen the Rost Awards to make this even easier.
Even see that one, yeah.
Oh boy, in the top lane, Centaur is trying to commence some Rat Dota. He will TP back, but just too little too late. Now with 2 lanes of barracks down, Not Today's life in this game seems rather short.
Yeah. This is now the point of no return. Like there's no items coming anytime soon that's going to make him able to fire. Like you get the Fusel Blade, your TA still melts. You start to get to BKB. There's still plenty to just counter.
Doom gets jumped on, will get ward trapped once more, and that'll be enough to finish him off, but the rest of the fight not going so well for the Dire side. Mihawk completely repelled. Smash taking some pretty heavy damage. Snake King getting clicked down by Ewo. Will be able to survive for now. There's that global GA coming out as Snake King is on the run. Ewo still trying to chase him down. Might actually be able to survive now with some magic immunity. Meanwhile, on the backside, Smash getting clicked down by Fog. He'll fall. They grab a kill on the Shadow Shaman while they're defending their Death Prophet, and now it's Korok and Snake King versus Ewo. He has no sprint, complements the silence, and maybe, just maybe, they can find a kill here. Looks like Centaur will deny himself, but Ewo, with that Blink Dagger, will slither his way back to safety. Still a very minor victory considering the general outcome of that fight, as Navi US still have 4 standing. And they'll cut him off. Able to blink before that auto attack commences.
And he's still going for creeps here.
He's so
greedy son of a...
Ice Path almost connects, but here we go. Rubik with the telekinesis. Fog is there with the DOTs, and yeah, sure, the Ice Blast will connect on a few, but just seems to be so little. Double Yules comes out onto Ewo, buys him some time, but right into the Ice Path Macro Pyre. He'll fall, buys back. Now they want a recovery kill on Snake King. They may find a complement to the Shackles. Ewo will be able to PT forward, and that will secure the kill onto the Death Prophet. Fog gets jumped on, but a Doom is right there onto Ewo. Mech comes out from Korok. And now Masoku and Mystico trying to find that balance between retreating and engaging. Smash helping them out and giving them some confidence. Will get caught inside of the Ice Path. Mihawk pressing forward now with that hoof stomp. Double Edge out on MJW. They've lost their Ancient Apparition as Korok. He just does a lot of damage here.
These Ice Paths is sick too.
Oh, just so bad for Not Today. They're getting completely cleaned up here. Navi US have the sustainability to just continue this fight seemingly forever. A big pad of damage onto the Rubik will bring him down, but Korok with a triple kill, maybe even an ultra kill. Yeah, it sure will be as he brings down the Templar Assassin, and that will demoralize Not Today into a GG. And Navi Today with a pretty convincing win, 28-15, and again, only 26 minutes of gameplay. The position 1 Korok Omni Knight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, great to see the Omni Knight used, and definitely a hero with a lot of viability, I feel, at the moment, but he's not like a first pick material. He's definitely one of those niche 4th, 5th pick, and against certain drafts, and this was the exact kind of draft we're picking against. A lot of the Not Today lineup was built around the physical damage of Starladder and TA, and they just never took off. I think, like, regardless of the Omni Knight, they were just so far behind and needed too many items with the bad start they had, but even if they had that good start, the Omni Knight GA was always going to counter them come mid to late game.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll have a quick break here, guys, then Game 2 of this best-of-3 series coming up next for the Starladder Season 10 America Playoffs.